Hi,
Keith,
Whitney.
how are you, Keith Irvin? It's so good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
It's been a long time.
It has.
I
Yeah,
feel,
too
I,
long.
I know it feels like it was the pandemic, but that couldn't be right, could it?
Well, I've seen you before then, I think, but we haven't done this.
I've missed doing this.
Yeah, me too. I've missed
Right.
having a reason to do it too. So
Oh,
this
you
is
can Zoom me anytime, Keith. You know how it is.
thank you.
Right. Well, welcome back. Not that you've been anywhere, but because I know when you're not in front of us, you're working on stuff for us. So you're a
Yeah, that's
giver.
true. Yes, very true.
Now,
Yeah.
listen, I
So
don't have any details on an album. I have nothing on a tour. I got a
yeah.
couple of great songs that we can talk about, but if you have two songs out, and I know that you have said to me you're always working on the next album, um, is there something shaping up?
The album's totally finished.
Oh, of course it is.
Um, so now it's just a case of songs coming out, and then at some point, the whole album coming out, and then obviously a tour announcement at some point. So this finally, I'm glad this year's here, and I'm glad that it is here with an album that's finished because this time last year, February 2023, I'd been working on the follow up to The Speed of Now,
Yeah.
and spent about a year on that record, 13 songs. Uh, Took that album in to my team to play it for them, top to bottom, and I got about maybe 4 or 5 songs into that listening experience, and I could feel
Oh
like
no.
every part of my body was like, "Ugh, this is
Really?
this is not the record." And
Was it the first time you'd heard it out loud?
yeah, first time I'd played in front of people, and my conviction level just collapsing like Jenga.
Oh,
And it's the most awful feeling because I could also feel it in the room, you know.
right. Yeah, so
And
there's no escaping.
I said to my team, I said, "This is not the record, is it?" And bless them, they said, "Well, you tell us, you know." And I
Oh,
went,
but still,
right?
right?
It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's not. It's maybe half an album at best, maybe a little less, maybe 40% of an album.
Oh God.
And I just, it was, man, all the wind just went. And I was so gutted. And, because
Oh,
I also knew the work that was laying ahead of me with that realization. It would have been so much easier for me to just go, it's fine.
fine. Put it
Of
out.
course this is the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get the tour out there. Let's do the thing. Let's go. But I wasn't 100% in. I wasn't in, and I could feel it. And then the strangest thing happened. Um, I went out to my car and I bawled my eyes out.
Oh my God, you
Literally,
did.
because I said whatever. It's like it's my life. It's my, this
Yeah,
is
it's your thing. I know. I know.
it matters to me. Let's put it that way. It matters to me, especially when you're putting that much work to know that you're not there, like you're so
Yeah.
not there. And then I went home and listened to the record, and there was 4 songs out of 13. Messed Up As Me was one of them,
Oh, what a great song.
and there was 4 songs. And the strangest thing happened, Whitney. These 4 songs, I wrote down the titles, and I was like, okay, these four, they're right. I know these songs are right. And it was literally like it was like the songs said to me, "Take us with you. We don't belong here.
Oh
Take
wow.
take all 4 of us, and if you keep us together, and now write songs and record, knowing we're there, we're the center here, we're all good."
Right.
But we will now help you point the way if you just trust us. Like, don't question us. Trust us and go down this road. You made your record that you wanted to make and it didn't work out. So now trust the songs.
We
And
are
those
your
four,
core.
they did it. Those 4 songs did it. Like they just did it because we went and wrote Straight Line. We went and wrote so many songs, none of it was there. I went and did a duet with a very famous artist that we recorded last June. That
Right.
wouldn't happen without that moment. So everything good started happening after that, but it was excruciating at the time.
I
And
bet.
here we are a year later, and finally, those 4 plus another 6, 11 song album. and it's done top to bottom.
Now, were both Straight Lines and Messed Up As Me, were those both on the other album?
No, just messed up.
Oh, really?
Straight Line was written probably not coincidentally because, like I said, I started this album back in 22 with the intention of having kind of like a framework to work between. I kind of had a theme for the record. I'm not gonna get into it, but I sometimes my records can wander in all kinds of directions, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a record that just has a strong theme to it. That'll give me, um, you know, a framework to create within. I create in here. This will I won't lose my way. It'll keep me focused. That approach turned out to be really linear, really sort of a bit one dimensional. So it was a lot of this.
Right.
And
No
it turned
circling
out all the
back
stuff
and
that,
yeah.
yeah, and all the stuff that lives outside of those edges was what I was missing and what the record needed. And so I just went, screw these, whatever these things are that I'm working between, get rid of the bumpers out of the bowling alley, right? Just get rid of the fences, get rid of all this stuff. And now just make music. What do you want to make me? And Straight Line was the very first thing we wrote. And so it's no coincidence that it's this very effervescent,
Oh, yes.
jubilant, screw it, we're going off into the sunset. Who's with me? Because I was breaking out of a routine I put myself into for the better part of a year
Got
that was
it.
very limiting, and I wanted to break out of it. So I know why I wrote that song, and certainly what it means to other people will be their own life. But for me, it was complete, utter liberation.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what it sounds like. And then we heard Messed Up As Me, and it's like just two ends of the spectrum right there.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, they're
Messed Up As
180.
Me is just like, I'm hoping you'd be awake at 3. I'm not doing it verbatim,
Come
but
on, sing it for me.
yeah, I know I'm not doing that. But I'm hoping you'd be awake at 2:45.
Mm.
That's 3 in the morning talking to you, you know?
Yeah.
That is not Straight Line is not coming into your head at 2:30 in the morning. It's messed
Yeah.
up. That's a morning song. That'll get anybody going, even me,
Yeah.
dedicated midday person, getting up
Right.
at noon. Not really, but and the other one is just so middle of the night. So I can't wait to see what you have between those two.
Oh,
And
thank
I
you.
know those weren't even parameters. Those are just great songs that came out of your this thing that you do.
Thank you.
Is that the thing that you do, by the way? Is it
It
this?
looks like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, all right. I want to make sure I got that right.
Well, and I think hopefully between those two songs, especially Straight Line, I think hopefully that's for me, that's the feeling of what our concerts are like.
Yes.
That's on stage for me at least anyway. That's the way I feel when I'm on stage on a really good night. I feel like the energy in Straight Line, and that seemed like the perfect way to kick off the record. It's the opening song on the album, uh, and it was the first thing we released. But then there's, I do 180s in my show too, and Messed Up As Me is definitely a 180 from that. So it's the first sexy dysfunctional song I think I've ever done.
We've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah, some people
So
are still there, but yeah.
that's true. Get out, come to the Straight Line. When do we get to see the whole thing live then? I mean, let's say here. You don't want to talk about the tour yet, I get it, but is there a date for the album?
Sometime this year. Yeah, I don't have.
Okay, thanks. That narrows it down.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have a date yet, but I love the fact that we can at least keep putting new songs out. So
Yeah.
we'll have something ready to go. I mean, everything's ready to go. So now it's just a case of when it comes next after what comes next after Messed Up As Me. I hope it's the duet that I did because I've been sitting on it since last summer.
Oh,
And
so that made the new album. Good. Okay, good.
so it's been just crushing to be sitting on this song since last summer.
And
Yeah.
no hints on who this other person is. Is that what you're telling me?
No, but when it comes out, you'll understand why it's been so frustrating sitting on it since last summer.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
There you go.
I know, I mean, I've always enjoyed the duets that don't always make it to the radio, but they make it to the album. But what was it like for you to sing almost like backup for Rita? Is it Rita Ora?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was that like? Because I know that, people are happy to back you up, but I don't think that I've really heard you backing other people up much, have I?
Yeah, I've done a lot of it over the years, but I haven't. But that's the first time I've done something with Rita. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
I love her. I love her voice, and she sent me the song. I love the song, and was thrilled to be on it.
Well, listen, I know you got a busy time ahead of you. I know you've been very busy. I just want to tell you, I saw this video of you in your studio, and correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like you're playing a very large briefcase. Do you know that you
Oh
can
yeah, yeah,
afford a
yeah.
drum? Do you know that you probably, if you check the bank account, can
Right.
probably afford a real drum or something to bang on instead of luggage?
Doesn't sound as good.
Does that instrument make the cut on the album? Because that I'll be listening for.
That's in Straight Line, actually, weirdly enough. And then I ditched it. There's a lot of
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Yeah, yeah. I put that little thing under the guitar solo because I thought it gave it this little giddy up momentum that was new to the moment. And then I did umpteen different solos and eventually settled on one. And that little giddy up thing, I didn't like it, so
Oh,
I muted it.
it's so funny. The briefcase doesn't make it, but we go way back to find a gym whistle in another one of your songs. So there are
That's right.
no there are
That
no
was
like household items around
that
that
was
are
in You
safe
Gonna
from you.
Fly. That was in
Yes,
You
that's
Gonna
right.
Fly. Oh my God, that's so funny. I took that from Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh,
From
really?
Yeah, yeah, the whistle. I always love the whistle in Welcome to the Jungle. It's so like, what? Something's about to go down.
Work the same that you're gonna fly. I remember because I think the guys from Low Cash wrote that song, and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, did you
Yeah.
know a gym whistle was gonna show up? They're like, we had no idea. It was not in our version. So
I love textures in
yeah.
songs. Even the second verse of Straight Line, there's a line in there that I really love. Finally leaving Hotel California.
Oh,
And the reason I love that
you
line so
can
much,
leave.
well, the reason I love that line so much is because I thought, what's the ultimate statement of finally getting out and breaking out? And that lyric in Hotel California by the
You can
Eagles
check out anytime you like,
says you can check it anytime you like, but you
but you
can
can never
never
leave.
leave. So
Yeah.
obviously the ultimate release would be finally leaving Hotel California, right?
Yeah.
And and when that moment happened when we're making the record and we have a little breakdown, I was like, it's still missing something. And so I went out and did like, woo, hey, and I'm like, I like Party of One in the background with
Right.
chinking glasses and stuff like that. It's just this little bit of celebratory texture that you hear just in the background. And so I those things take so long when I'm making records because the ideas come when they come.
You know what
But
I would love to hear, Keith? You know how when you watch a movie and they have a director's cut?
mm,
I would love if you had a director's cut of your album and you could
oh
just
yeah,
hit pause and go, okay, let me tell you what's happening here. I would
yeah, yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
There's a lot going on, and I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of detail in all of these songs. And so hopefully, if you listen to it over and over again, I my hope is that you'll always hear something that you didn't hear the first time
I am known to re-listen to a couple of Keith Urban albums over and over and over. Even you might possibly know that.
after a few cocktails.
Even before, even before. Keith,
Cool.
I am so happy to see you.
You too.
Can't wait
Always,
to
Whitney.
always,
Always.
Keith. I can't wait to see you on the road, see what you've had up your sleeve for the last few years. It's been dying to get out.
Yes.
And congratulations for leaving Hotel California. Good for you. It sounds like it applies to the new
Yay.
album. Love it.
Congrats to everybody getting out.
You got to check out the two Messed Up as Me, Keith Urban. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Whitney. Always good to see you.
Love you, Keith.
Love you
Talk
too,
to
baby.
All right.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.